Hello, everyone. This is Angela Klingenberg. I am really excited to be sharing this class with you today. This short training is going to be on how to take your lawn from lawn to garden, harnessing the power of the pig. So this is going to be a super simple, holistic, and soil building way to get your garden ready for spring or whatever planting season is next when you're watching this video. So pigs basically have always had a really bad stigma. I mean, pigs smell, they dig, they're not overly nice, right? That's what we've all heard, but we've really found that that can't be further from the truth. Raising your own pigs can be very rewarding, and it's a very rewarding adventure with all these side benefits of tilling your soil, adding nitrogen to your garden spaces, and providing you with sustainably sourced pork products in the end. As we'll show you in this training, you can harness the power of the pig to transform your monoculture lawn into a beautiful garden, which will be a haven for pollinators and plants alike, where you can grow nutritious food with your family. So let's chat about some of the amazing things that pigs can do for you to prep your garden for a fruitful growing season. So pigs, they help with aeration and fertilization. So taking advantage of the pigginess of the pig leads to improved soil fertility through aeration from their digging and their rooting around, and from their manure you get that fertilizer. The key is to move them before they get bored and make big wallows. Though we've found even if they make wallows, they can be evened out easily with a rake after a good rain once the pigs are out of that paddock. When rotated into fresh lawn or forage areas regularly, there is really very little smell coming from that part of our homestead. Honestly, I think pigs smell less than our turkeys do. It's really quite funny. They're actually one of the very few farm animals that picks a bathroom spot in their forage area and just goes there almost exclusively. So you don't have a lot of feces anywhere, and it's all in one spot. Choosing homestead-friendly heritage breeds who forage well will also really help with all of the aeration and the foraging naturally. We absolutely love our coonies, which are the two that are pictured on this slide. We also just recently got 2 American guinea hogs, and so far we have really loved both of these breeds for their versatility on the homestead. Both of these breeds, in our experience, have been very friendly. Pigs also that are moved rotationally will not only be overall healthier because they move and have fresh greens to eat, they'll have really low parasite loads, significantly lower than traditionally raised pork that's in its own feces a lot more. When these guys are moved regularly, parasite prevention happens naturally because they're moved off of the area that they were just in. Pastured pigs also have a better quality of meat, so that what you bring to the table for your family will be far more nutrient dense, and it'll be ethically sourced, so you'll feel good about it. So these and many more benefits are reasons we love to let pigs do our heavy lifting when it comes to garden prep. So we're going to show you some really simple ways to go from lawn to garden, the really easy way. But before we do that, I wanted to show you guys a picture of our before and our after. So on the left, you have a picture of our homestead before we really started any gardening. This was, I believe, 2 days after we bought the property. It was incredibly hard packed clay. Anywhere that we did have soil, it was very thin, and the only thing that really would grow there was the types of unwanted grasses that you really don't want around anyway, because they just take over. After the 90 days or so that you want to wait before you plant things, we didn't get to all of the area that we had the pigs clear for us. So these plants that you see on the right that look so lush and healthy, these were planted about 6 months after the pigs were in that area. We have gotten so much productive growth and vegetables off of this garden plot, and it was all lawn just a few short months ago. So let's do some quick steps to go from lawn or pasture to garden. And you can either plant a garden or you can replant more beneficial pasture areas. So you can go several ways with this. But let's start with step one. So you have your dense lawn. You just want to make sure that the area is free of anything that might harm your pigs. So check for glass, nails, screws, especially if your property is anything like ours. We live on an older property, and we have found lots of glass and things. So we always want to make sure that there's nothing that'll harm our pigs. Step 2, you use whatever fencing you're choosing to, and you bring in your beasties. These guys, as this image in step 2, these guys have been in this paddock for about 10 days. The soil is amazing. It's free of weeds and grass. It's loose. It's been very well tilled. They had one wallow in this area, and it was very, very easy to level out. Step 3, you can do a couple of things here. You can, if you want to, like we are doing in the back part of our property, we're going in after them and we are planting a cover crop. So we'll do field peas that they can come back through and eat later. We'll do different various prairie grasses that grow well back there. Clover also, all animals love clover, so we plant that one a lot as well. So the other 2 options, you can do a silage tarp. The silage tarp will help kill all the weed seeds that are left on the ground, and we use silage tarp a lot if it's going to be a while before we have time for the garden space, or we just want to prevent the weeds and the grass from coming back in. The third option is the option that most of you guys are probably going to go for, is covering it with mulch and allowing it to mellow for 90 days. That mulch will help soil build up, and it'll keep the weeds and grass from coming back up. And then 90 days later, after it's mellowed, you are basically ready for crops that you can grow for human consumption. You do want to wait that 90 days though, to make sure any parasites have run their course and there's nothing left in that area. So step 4, basically after that 90 days, if you did a cover crop that you're wanting to chop and drop and then do your garden in, you can do that now, or you can plant in your new garden space. We have done both on this property, and it has been really amazing to see the soil and the lushness of the green foliage when it does come back. So let's go over some piggy basics. So you'll want to make sure that your pigs have safe confinement. That way you don't have to worry about them running off. You don't have to worry about them hurting themselves on anything else on the property. So the far left picture is hog panel. Hog panels are amazing. They are pretty fast to move. After we got the hang of it, we could move the pigs to a new paddock using these panels in about 30 minutes. These panels are great for younger pigs who haven't been trained to an electric fence yet, or maybe haven't been trained to a bucket yet. Our new American guinea hogs that are in that picture hadn't really had much human experience yet, so they really didn't know how to follow a bucket. But we have really enjoyed the panels just because they are super secure and easily movable, and really pretty inexpensive because they're supplies that you can get at your local supply store. This middle picture is our favorite way to do pigs. This made for such easy moves, and it is solar powered electric fencing. So this solar powered electric fencing is super easy to train your pigs to. They literally will get one shock and they will learn not to go near the fence. So it was super fast and easy. We trained them in about 10 minutes to this fence. It makes for really, really easy moves. We simply take down one of the sides, and I get them interested in the bucket of food, and I move them into the new pasture with the bucket of food. I put the food on the ground, they start munching it, we take the fence down and we put it around them. Easy peasy, done in under 10 minutes. So we are huge fans of the solar electric fencing. Next thing you need to worry about with your pigs is their shelter. So this shelter, that's the far right picture, is super easy to move, and very, very, very sturdy. Our pigs are probably nearing 200 pounds, and they do the piggy twerk against that wood shelter to itch themselves, and it is holding up beautifully, and it moves over rough ground super easily. We put it together in probably 2 hours or so one Saturday afternoon. So, and I think the next one that we build will go up much faster because we already know what we're doing. Other piggy basics that you might want to know about is watering. So you always want to make sure any of your homestead animals have fresh water. We've found that a traditional shallow water trough is fine when they're littler, but they train really easy to these nipple or cup waterers that you'll see in that picture there. They train to those really easy when they're young. When they're young, they won't necessarily knock over a big trough of water, but when they get bigger, they will. So we found that it's easier to train them to the cleaner water option that they can't tip over easily. And it always ensures that they've got a good source of water, because that is a 13-gallon food grade bucket there. So they won't have any issues running out of water. We just check on it every few days. So for food, we have really found we love that we can feed them a non-GMO feed. And I do feel that that's really important. On the homestead level, you want to give them the best food that you can. Their health benefits from it, and in the end, the product that you get, is going to be super healthy for you. When we have younger pigs, we like utilizing a pan to feed them. Younger pigs, we have found, don't naturally know to go. It's a learned behavior to go in one spot in their fence. So feeding them in the pan makes sure that they are not getting any feces in their food. When they're older, though, we love to just put the food directly on the ground. In areas that are well away from their normal potty area. And placing the feed on the ground really encourages them to root and break up grass, and it just really speeds up that tilling process. We have found that we also, just as a tip for you guys, you want to move your pigs to minimize that parasite load that we talked about. You want to move them every 7 to 14 days. And depending on how much your pigs root, you can kind of nudge that one way or the other. Obviously, if you're in a very heavy clay area, a little bit longer might be good, but if it's been rainy and wet and they really till up fast, 7 days. For our property and our pigs, we have found that 10 days is a nice happy medium. And so we generally will move our big pigs every 10 days or so. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I so appreciate you coming and learning with us this today. And if you have any more questions, feel free to let us know in comments or shoot us a message, and we will get back with you and help you with any pointers that you may need to start this endeavor yourself. We have so enjoyed having pigs on our homestead and being able to really harness the power of all that pigs are to benefit our family. Hope you all have a great one. Bye.